Learning something and learning it well and learning it faster and well are three completely different things. By the end of this video, my objective would be to give you the skills and knowledge to be able to learn well, and learn well much faster, because we now have ChatGPT. For the first demonstration, I'm going to take the subject of entrepreneurship. However, these skills, the techniques I'm about to show you, are applicable for any other subject, for maybe it math or geography or science or history or language. You can creatively apply it to any other domain, right? I'm going to show you the basic structure. So the basic structure begins with identifying what you want to learn, and then there's a particular prompt in my section on prompts, the 16 prompts. I'm going to use that prompt to create myself a study routine. Or for example, let's say, so here's the prompt: create a custom study routine. Then with a comma, you specify topic, colon, and then you include learning how to launch an online business. Now, if you want to follow along, you may want to select a different topic that you're interested in. This is just for demonstration. Then I specify a duration. For this, I'm keeping it 1 week. Then I'm specifying my constraints, that this is for a complete beginner who never started a business before, is a programmer, and can spend 4 hours a day. These are all hypothetical situations, but relevant. So now if I ask instructor GPT or coach GPT, let's see what it comes up with. There we go. So it's creating a custom study routine based on what I told it. Now it's breaking down information according to the number of days, and as I could see, it's specifying general information. It's only talking about things which are generic in nature, but nothing specific as yet. So next I'm going to show you, if you don't like the output, you can change the prompt. And remember from the video on the life cycle of prompt creation, you have to keep experimenting. You try something and then you see the result, and then you measure how close is it to your desired outcome. If it's close enough, then you tweak a bit, and if it's finally almost there, you can keep it and then add it to your prompts database. Or else you keep trying, you keep tweaking, and then that's the cycle that you follow, and eventually you get to a prompt that gives you your desired outcome. So in this case, I don't think so I got the exact outcome, because this is all very generic. What I wanted to focus on was, let's say I can take one of these. This is all, so it sounds like an entire semester's course. I didn't want to get into this. So let's say I only want to focus on this topic, creating a launch plan for your online business. So I could say, hey, let's copy this. Now I can just copy this, and instead of learning how to launch an online business, let's become specific. Let's niche down, let's narrow down, and let's see what it tells us now. And if for some reason you don't like the tone, here we go. And we could include something, keep the tone. For some reason, if you like the fun and jolly tone, then it's going to do the same thing. Then it's going to recalibrate its output. Now that is more relatable, and it doesn't have the buzzwords, and that is pretty good now. So I like what it's showing me right now. So hopefully you've seen that getting to the prompt is not a straight process. You will meet some bad prompts, you will meet some bad results or undesirable results or not so optimum results. And as you've seen, I kept iterating and changing my prompt and tweaking it, and eventually when I set the tone, I got something that I can relate with. Then watching some fun and engaging YouTube videos on online businesses is sound advice, because there are tons of videos online with some very amazing channels and information, and then researching some successful online businesses and what makes them stand out. This is brilliant advice. It's like if you want to succeed, you can study an existing successful business model and see what makes them stand out, and then see if there's some similarity between you or what can you get inspired by. Now that you know how to ask ChatGPT to create a custom routine for you, here's a mini challenge. Pause the video and go ahead, use this prompt to create a custom schedule for you. And instead of 1 week, come up with some other duration and then have some other constraints that are relevant to you. So here's a prompt. Create 5 practice questions for me about understand your audience. Let's see. So instead of you trying to search for questions, you ask ChatGPT to quiz you. And right now it isn't in the quiz mode, but once you see the questions, once you practice them, you can ask ChatGPT to quiz you. For example, can you give me an example of a company that has successfully targeted a specific audience and explain how they did it? Now, Apple is a great example of such a company that successfully targeted a specific audience. Why is it important to tailor your marketing message to your target audience? It's like if someone doesn't like candies and you're trying to sell them candies, it's difficult for you to be able to convince them to buy candies. That's important. So that is, the target audience is an audience which is looking for something that you're selling. So that's the reason you want to do that. And demographics that businesses might use to identify the target audience. How can you determine the likes and dislikes of your target audience, and what is the importance of understanding your target audience when trying to sell a product or service, right? So I could say, now I'm turning on the quiz mode. My answers will be graded by ChatGPT. So it's like having a live tutor. And when you're studying, you feel lonely, right? Not anymore. With ChatGPT, anytime you want to test yourself or you want to ask clarifying questions, you can talk to ChatGPT the way I'm showing you. And then ChatGPT can quiz you and then tell you how effective your answers were. So let's say I want to start with question number 4. So let's see, I have an answer and this is just a random answer. Let's see what it tells us. Right? So that is intentional because I wanted to show you that ChatGPT is just like a tutor. It's if it finds that there are some missing gaps, it's going to give you feedback and it's going to help you understand, right? So hopefully you can see how useful this can be when you're trying to learn something new and you have no idea. However, the optimum process of learning at this point is when ChatGPT teaches you something new, it's always a good practice to verify it with some credible online resource, like maybe for example, if there's some investment or accounting term, you can go to Investopedia or some site online that's been there for a very long time, has that is the authority on that subject. So you can double check just to be sure before you start using it seriously. So in this video, we saw 3 things. How you can, let me show you the prompts. How you can use a quiz me on this, then how you can create 5 practice questions about a certain topic, then explain the topic to a 5-year-old using analogies, and then have ChatGPT talk like Steve Jobs in this case, or someone else that you want to hear. Then act as an expert social media marketer. This could have been an expert C# programmer, an expert Python developer, an expert martial artist. The possibilities are endless. And then now teach me about a certain concept. And then you can indicate talk like this or keep the tone funny or whatever. The same thing was done here. And I also showed you that changing prompts is a very common thing. So don't get disheartened if you don't get the results in the first try. As long as you're using prompts and not requests, there's a difference. There's a video that I have in this course. You may want to watch it. The difference between requests and commands, and then intro to prompts. You'll understand that you always have to work on prompts. Prompts have context. They are specific. They are precise. They are more more targeted to the output that you want, right? So ChatGPT can look at the thing and make a very confident guess that, considering what you're telling me, I think with a very high probability that this is what you want. So that's why you need to use prompts, and prompts are detailed. The more information, the more relevant information you provide, the better the chances are of getting your relevant information. So there you have it, my friends. These are 3 steps which you as a student of any level can use to skyrocket your own learning. For example, you don't have to search for web pages or Stack Overflow or these websites. It's right here. It's available to you within seconds. That's why I said you can start learning 10 times faster. All the time that you would have invested searching for information, browsing it, bookmarking it, referring to it, rereading, that is all saved. It's just a conversational interface, and that's why ChatGPT can become one of your best learning and teaching resources. Thanks for watching. Hope you found this video useful, and I can't wait to see you in my other videos.